Well, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I'm in some color. Yes, it is May 11th. You know, I feel the weather shifting. And I just thought, gosh darn it, I might as well embrace all of the colors that I see happening right now in the great downtown Portland, Oregon. Oops, I got a light here I need to get rid of. There we go. Out of sight, out of mind. That's my extra light. Hi, Donald Lampert. Thank you for being a member. Hi, Flora D. Thank you. You're in Washington. Oh, Wilmington, North Carolina. Nice. Hi, Copper Broom. Thank you for the little waves. Those are cute. TR is in the house. Hi. Jiggy Pardo Lord. Beautiful pics. Thanks for those. And the gorgeous K Travel. This is a hat that she has given to me as a gift, courtesy of K Travel. She thought it would look good on me. I will let you all decide if K is right. Hi, Janet Johnson. Yes, the scarf is courtesy. You folks dress me. That's what's starting to happen. You guys put my clothes on for me. See, K Travel put the hat on, and Jeffrey from Ripe Color, he gave me my scarf. So there you go. There you have it. Hi, Anne Marie. Hi, Geocosmic. Good to see you here. So, we're going to be here for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It's up to you guys. Whatever you want to do. We'll do some blitzes. We are here discussing the politics and the celebrity of the day. Any celebrity, salacious gossip. Thursdays, we get a little freaky. Thursdays, we are not taking anything seriously, folks. My name is Whimsy. This is an entertainment channel. Today we have fun. We get to do whatever makes you happy. And there's a lot going on that we can absolutely talk about, depending upon what you're interested in. I look like a Jewish rabbi. Well, that's interesting because I almost became a rabbi. I was seriously thinking about it for a while. Yeah, looking a little bit Hungarian today. That's interesting. Yeah, my Hungarian is coming out. You gotta let your freak flag fly. You gotta let your freak flag fly. I could start singing Yiddish songs or Shabbat songs if you really want to get into it. It's Thursday, so. All right, let's just get to the basics here. My name is Whimsy. We have one rule here on the channel: be kind to all so that all can be kind to you. I don't care what your religion is, your gender, schmender, what your political party is. We don't care about that. We really don't. We care about people being kind to each other so that we can create a lovely society, and we support your dream of making this world a better place. So that is what we are here to do, and to have fun with people. So this is our happy hour Thursday. Like I said, some of us like to drink a little hard liquor during the Thursday show. Anything goes, any questions go. I mean, it's pretty much anything that people want to talk about. What else do I need to make an announcement? Oh, yeah. So tell us where you're coming from. Please join the table at your leisure. If you want to participate in the conversation, just subscribe. Anybody can participate. And we just get together from all walks of life all over the world, and we have drinks. And this is kind of our happy hour. And we talk about local news, gossip, whatever you guys want to talk about. So Things on the news. E. Jean Carroll. Looks like they are going to appeal. Trump lawyer was talking about appealing the case. Delay, delay, delay. He doesn't want to pay her the money. That's kind of an interesting. I look really Jewish today, huh? I'm looking like I like it. I got my almost looks like a woman's yarmulke, huh? Okay. Something I would wear to synagogue. Thank you. You're very sweet. Yeah, so we can talk about that. That was one of the subjects that people were kind of freaked out about. He can appeal. Of course he can appeal. Um, I don't think it's going to get very far, but we can talk about that. The relationship between Harry and William, there were a few questions about that, like if I could clarify that with some future readings, because in the remote view, when they asked me what William had said to Harry during the funeral, do you remember what William had said? He said, if you publish that book, you're no longer a member of this family, right? So evidently, during the coronation, there was no communication before or after between Harry and the royal family. So a lot of people are thinking, maybe it's already over, but it's kind of like interesting to see that dynamic is now playing itself out between him and William. Another thing people want to talk about, I just take your guys' notes, whatever you guys bring up. We want to talk about the border and the end of Title 42. Y'all know about this. It looks like the number of immigrants was blocked during COVID, and that was called Title 42. So it's been cleared. So I did a remote on that. So I think we'll go ahead and talk about that first. I'd be the most beautiful in the synagogue. Oh my God, you guys make me blush. Maybe I'll find my match. Maybe I should go to shul. I'll go to shul. I'll go to the Reconstructionist. I like the Reconstructionist shul. That's where the progressives and liberals go. I'll go to the liberal synagogue, and hopefully maybe I'll finally find my soulmate. What do you think? All right, so let's talk about the border title number 42, because I did a remote view on it. Oh, yes. The other thing that people want to talk about is y'all were really upset, like really upset last night. I didn't see some of you got really upset. Who here saw the town hall with Trump? I didn't see it. I just feel like if it's going to upset me to see him, I wouldn't watch it. But okay, so I want to talk about a quick remote I did on the border. I got into the energy of the president, border ending the Title 42. Remember when I did a remote, what came up was that agricultural people were concerned now that we have had an increase in the amount of, we've had an increase in the amount of prices of some agriculture because during COVID, we had trouble with hiring, blocks at the border, etc. So here is the remote I got on the border situation and everything that's going on. They said that they would like to clear the long line that's going on. I guess it's 2 miles of people standing waiting to enter the border. According to what I could pick up from the president energetically, he said that he would like to clear the corridor, have it moving openly by before August, before July and August. And the president said that he was very concerned about the weather, that we got to get these people processed as fast as possible because the weather is increasing really rapidly. So I guess several trucks got taken, people got in today, and they're just trying to move quickly. And the energy from what I could get from Biden was, I never think about these things. And then I go into the altered state and put myself in the shoes of the other person. And then I understand the concern. So when I put myself in Biden's shoes, it's the weather, it's the weather, it's the weather. You can't have kids in 110-degree weather in the desert in August. And so there was this desperate feeling from humanitarians communicating with the president that they want to clear the area out by the summer. Extreme heat, very deadly for the immigrants. We want to get them processed as quickly as possible. There was a lag. It's been going on since COVID. We feel that we can process a lot of people over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Many of them are going to be allowed temporary, visas, migrants come work. And if you don't have a criminal record and you process and you're just a law-abiding person doing the work, then they're going to create a way for you to get in and start processing really rapidly, which is going to be much better for Americans overall because it means that food prices will begin to decline, et cetera, access to food, fresh food, et cetera. So tell the people, that's what he said. Tell the people we need about 6 to 8 weeks. There was a GOP House bill today to try and block immigration. But when you put that energy up against people that are farmers, tomatoes, the peppers, and everything else that are coming up now, strawberry season right now, right? They want people in processed. Large groups are going and being processed also in homeless shelters that are being operated by some of their drop centers. Some of the churches are operating them where people can get clothes, food, hygiene materials. And there's also people that hire straight away so that they can go right to work if they want to start working. So basically what Biden is saying is give them 2 to 3 weeks to clear it. And most of the people coming through will be cleared. It's not criminals. Most of these people are not criminals. They have blocked some people, and evidently, because I was reading about it, people have been deported. But the majority of people that are law-abiding, that are escaping things like global warming, et cetera, it looks like this is a feeling like we're mobilized. And one of the reasons that, according to this remote, one of the reasons that Biden and the administration wanted to push to end Title 42 was because they're really concerned for the safety of the migrants crossing later in the year. And it was really comforting to me, just as somebody who cares about my fellow human beings, like, oh, wow, Pataki and all these people that worked for the administration, they actually feel that these immigrants are human beings that have a right not to die horribly in the desert just because they want a good life for themselves and their kids. So that made me really hopeful about the future of immigration on the border. And they're desperately needed. And that needs to be the new conversation. We shouldn't let people could take control of the narration that don't understand the economics and the need for healthy immigration. Okay, so that was the remote I had on the border, and then a quick remote I had to go back with William and Harry. People had asked me to check on that, and just what William had said to Harry, the feeling that he's emotionally immature, he's reckless, he's irresponsible, and that this is the common problem that William has had with Harry, is that he goes off and does whatever he wants. And then all the weight is on William. And so that's probably why William punched him. But the feeling energetically is that Harry was warned that his immaturity and his recklessness had really gone to the ultimate extremes when he published Spare. And that was kind of the final straw for William. So it's interesting because you put yourself in each of these people's shoes, and it always sounds so reasonable, doesn't it? It always sounds like, well, that makes sense. I guess I would feel that way too, William, if I was stuck having to be the adult and I could never screw up and the whole world is watching me and I can't go and mess up. I've got to have A+ grades. I've got to be perfect in all ways. And I've got this brother that's, gets to go off and do whatever. think that's all I have for quick remotes. We can go ahead and open the floor to some questions. Y'all want to do some blitzes? Oh, thank you, S. Kim. Was that S. Kim that donated? Thank you for the $20 donation. Much appreciated. All right, so it looks like we've got some questions. Did we get the blitz order? Hold on. All right, we got it. Was Lushenko poisoned in Russia? Wow, I don't know. Who's Lushenko? Oh my God, there's just so much going on. All right, somebody's just told me to pray. Please pray. Okay, let's do the Empath's prayer and then blitzes. All right, you guys? All right. The banging is gone because I put the felt thing back on the table, so it should be silent. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. All right. Always feel good. Good vibrations after you do the empath prayer. All right. Kathy Reagans is the first to ask a question. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for the question. Whimsy, what do you see for George Santos with these new charges? Okay, let's find out what the future is. Do you think he has a future? I don't know. He was taken out by his business dealings. He was involved in some corruption. It's gotten much easier for the feds to find these types of schemes. If you remember on Sunday, we did a quick blitz on George Santos, and it showed he would be charged with theft, the Seven of Swords with the Justice. If you go back and you take a look at or was it the Tuesday show? Excuse me, it was the Tuesday show. He was accused of wire fraud. Is that right? Wire fraud. What do they call it? Anyway, he was theft. He stole. He stole money that was supposed to go to the campaign. He stole money from a dying vet, et cetera, et cetera. So it came as a Seven of Swords, a thief situation. It is possible that he could try and go back to Brazil in order to avoid federal charges. So they may want to take his passport away, because there was a Knight of Wands also the last time we looked. And then after I got off the show, I thought about it. It's to head south. So I'm thinking, is this guy going to try and go back to Brazil? I mean, I don't know what his situation is. I can tell you this is the same thing that happened on Thursday. He has a devil in the 7th house, which is his immediate environment, which showed that he's chained in an unhealthy way to other associates. It can be a drug problem, a sexual addiction, some type of corruption. And the problem with the devil is that the person may feel like they are powerless over this addiction. They cannot leave. Sometimes I think maybe something happened with George Santos. Maybe this is somebody where he got caught, compromised, doing something he shouldn't have been doing, some kind of illegal activity or something that may be a little bit salacious. And that may have something to do with whatever happened afterwards in terms of where is this money coming from, this $750K, for example. This is something that keeps coming up with the feds. If you go all the way back to Robert Mueller, when Robert Mueller was talking about building the evidence, the accounting, to try and find out how these money schemes were going on. And so 4 or 5 years later, it became much easier to find foreign money. It was much easier 5 years later to be able to break into, to access information on somebody's cryptocurrency accounts. They used to not have the ability to do that, the feds, but the feds can do all of that stuff now. So they're much further along in terms of tracing dark money than they were when we first started this channel, when they were just building the technology and the case. And so I think that's one of the reasons why George Santos was caught and the case was ready to go to trial so quickly. Like, why this is happening so quickly is because of all the groundwork that had come beforehand with similar cases. They're building a case. And if you look at his relationship with the feds, we're talking about multiple charges, a 7 of Wands moving into 8th position, which would be his relationship with the other or the person that he has antagonism or the issue or the conflict with. And we can see a 7 of Wands defending against multiple charges or allegations. This guy reminds me a lot of Donald Trump in the sense that, like Donald Trump, he simply refuses to believe that things are real if it isn't good for him. You know, I knocked it out of the ballpark. I did great. It's that kind of need to believe his version of reality. It's really a psychosis that maybe a psychiatrist could explain to us what this is, but a 2 of Swords in the 9th position. This is someone who simply lacks the psychological wherewithal to see they're crazy. It's almost like they go and they do this awful stuff, and then they pretend that that's another person or that's not them. And that devil has me really interested. That keeps coming up. Is that a sex addiction issue? Is that a drug or alcohol addiction? But with the devil card, it could indicate that maybe he was caught doing something, that there's something there that they've got him on. This case is multi-layered, and it links him also to other people, possibly other people with the Republican Party. The case is quite solid, and there's not just multiple charges, but quite a bit of evidence. If you look into the feds further, you see cards like the 8 of Pentacles, which is a mastery card where you're pounding out evidence. You don't want a card like that from the feds when they're hammering out a case to charge you with something like this. Man, I can't believe twice he got the devil. What do you think it is? He was ratted out by people that understood where he got the money, and people cooperated with the investigation, which the authorities were able to get to the truth of what had happened to George Santos relatively quickly because of cooperation from other people. So over the devil and over his salacious involvement, you see a 10 of Swords, which would be an indication that he's been stabbed in the back. He's been laid low. Again, it also indicates that somebody has betrayed you. And it's had something to do with foolish, salacious behavior on his part. And then again, goes into the federal investigation. There's also something here about potentially foreign entanglement or corruption or an investigation that could involve foreign ties between Santos and the GOP. And Archangel Michael, not good for him, is with the feds. The Spies card. The spy who goes in and attempts to find out, access information or the truth, is the Page of Swords, and it sits with the feds. It's looking really bad. I can tell you that it was easy for them to catch him because he was betrayed, that it had something to do with salacious involvement in his personal life. It involves the Justice Department going directly after him. The case is very solid. I think they're going to trial this fall, September, October. He's going to prison. It's an opportunity for him to help himself. You can see here, mountains of evidence, 5 of Swords, walking away. To the best of his ability, he's advised to cooperate. Here's a federal officer, the King of Pentacles, with the Justice Department in his opposition. I decided to keep going because I just got curious. And then the strength of the case regarding money laundering, Two of Pentacles, flims flam. And then the final outcome was Three of Pentacles, hammering out the case, Archangel Raphael. It's an opportunity for him to heal himself and find out, if he writes an autobiography, maybe he can, while he's sitting in prison for the next, my guides just said he'll be given 7 years. So, 7 years if he's out and 5 on good behavior. That's plenty of time to write his book and do some work on himself. He could attempt to leave and go to South America with the Knight of Wands moving in, but evidently they want to take his passport away. Aren't those crazy? Oh my God. Picking oranges is brutal. I have picked strawberries. I am a great strawberry picker because I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, and so we all have to go out and pick the berries, right? We got berries all over the place. Berry season starts with the strawberries, then it goes on to the raspberries, and then at the end of the season is the blackberries. Like, I know it so well. I know the season. Okay, strawberries first. And then you get a bucket and you tie it around your waist and you crawl and and I was really good. Like, I was like, what was I, 14 years old. And in the summer I would go and I would just bust my tuchus, picking berries for cash. In the summer, a lot of kids do it. And I made like $14 in like 1978, that for the whole day. And that was considered a lot of money. So I made like, what would that be today, for like $40, $45? But if you have a family of like 6 people in the field and you're all staying in one room, they're able to make it work. It's a very hard life. But I thought I was rich. I came home with $14. Every single rack you pick would give me $1, and it takes about an hour to get a rack. So if you're busting your tuchus, you should get about $8 a day back then. So 14, I was really hauling, right? Anybody else do any picking when they were kids? They still do. Kids in the country, extra money. Okay. Lisa DeMars wants to know why do they care when Harry's not going to be the king? I think it's like any family. It's put yourself in the other's shoes is kind of what we do as remote viewers. We are empaths. We are not classic remote viewers. We are HCRV practitioners, and so it's our job, to the best of our abilities, to really put ourselves in the shoes of the person who's the target. And so we have empathy for everybody. And so it's not like we pick sides. I personally like Harry, right? I love the book. But then when I put myself in the shoes of William, I want to strangle Harry, right? Because I have empathy for William, right? And it's not like people behave in a way that isn't rational to them. People behave in a way that's rational, that makes sense to them, right? And he felt like all the pressure was on him and his brother wasn't listening and wasn't supporting him, right? Okay, was Lushenko poisoned? I think that already came out that he was poisoned. Oh, hi, 1111. Good to see you here. Will the GOP extremist be voted out in 24? Well, let's hope so. I feel, that they're being slowly removed by the feds, that this MAGA really ran afoul of the feds, and now it's like the feds are just squeezing it out. You look at all the convictions that have happened and everything that's happened, but let's look at the future of MAGA and the GOP. It's a really good question, Kathleen. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that, what the future of MAGA is with the GOP. I can't imagine it would survive, but let's see. The GOP is in serious trouble because of salacious or corrupt involvement in their money. And so what happened was they made a deal with the devil, and now they have to do the will of the devil. And now they can't get out of it. So they're either blackmailed or it's bad. In a lot of cases, it's blackmail. They can't get out of it because of fear of exposure, and they're trapped. That's what's going on in the Republican Party. And I'll show you the cards. The devil again comes in the seventh house, the immediate environment for the Republicans. So their own relationships, if they promise the oil company this, they've got all these companies that are funding their career. And if the direction right now is the new green economy, and then they can't fulfill their promises to these constituents, these people that gave them money, because people are moving in another direction. And so they're trapped by their own agreements, which is just not where the country is headed. So they wanted their campaign funded, so they took the money. But the problem is the winds of change are not going in the direction that the Republicans are going in. What's interesting is that the opposition, which is the liberals, the Democrats in 2024, is interesting. Of all the cards that they would show, they present the Queen of Cups as our campaign. And I don't know if that's necessarily bad, because the Queen of Cups dreams and she rubs her lamp and she imagines. And I think that's exactly how a future economist and people that have embraced this theory about the abundant earth, a conscious being that we have to work with. Queen of Cups dreams and she builds new dreams. So where the Republicans are at is they're trapped by alliances that are almost addictive. They can't get out of them. Where we are dreaming our dreams. The hope and the fear, can they give up? Kathleen O'Malley's question stands in the ninth house. Can they hang up this salacious relationship? And right now, unfortunately, Kathleen, they cannot, because they are bought and paid for. And so we have the final outcome for the GOP being the Eight of Swords, which is a red tape card. It's interesting that the artist chose to paint somebody in a red dress wrapped in something that's like red tape, because often this will be a bureaucrat's card, where you're just trapped in red tape. You can't get out of a situation. It's almost like they sold themselves to the devil, and now they can't get out of it. I think that's definitely true for Texas, for example. They privatized everything. And the problem is that the companies that they privatize don't like each other. So now it's like cannibalism. It's privatization cannibalism. I want a contract. And so you've got these people that are trying to fulfill all these commitments. And meanwhile, the regular people of Texas just know that they can't afford their electric bill. Those kinds of dynamics. And so their own relationships have screwed them over. They will have to leave the alliances and find new alliances. They will be accused of theft by their old constituents. So if they break away from, say, ExxonMobil or something like that and move towards another economy, they will be ostracized and be told that they're not fulfilling their commitments to this dark money. But there's a real attempt by many Republicans to move away from certain types of dark money. You can see this devil connection here. And it's interesting, moving into Eight of Cups for the Republican, an attempt to get away from what they've built. Could also be church involvement, wanting to move away from certain churches that have been associated with white supremacy, etc. But when you get an Eight of Cups coming in over a devil card, I would interpret it as trying to break away or break free from that influence. What's interesting also is that they are trying to have alliances with Democrats in 2024, and Democrats are not willing to compromise in 2024. So they may want to get in on some of the new contracts that have started to move in for the new green economy, and they may want to have control over the resources. I don't see Democrats wanting to play ball with Republicans in 2024, which leads me to think that we will have more seats in Congress. And you can see that we dream our dreams, we build new things, new possibilities, and then Four of Cups is our response to the Republicans, which is to reject offers that are put on the table. The hope and the fear by the constituents regarding the Republicans that they will have taken the money and fled and not done what we told them to do and hanging it up. Do you think that one of those constituents is foreign governments like, say, Russia? Do you think it's going to get tied back to foreign money? I guess that's my question. Should we can we assume, I guess that would be the way I would ask it, can we assume that all the money that they're talking about and all these alliances are American companies? Is there a possibility we're talking about foreign involvement as well? It's basically saying that the GOP breaks its commitment with former constituents, hangs it up, the thief, and the Democrats get their wish, 9 of Cups. The Democrats win. So we take the House back in 2024. It looks like we'll hold the Senate too with those cards. And it looks like what took the Republicans out was a refusal to leave their old ways. Eventually they will. But what's interesting also is that when we take the majority with those types of cards, we don't have to compromise at all with the new election. That's basically what they're saying. We will have control over industry, the new green economy. We don't have to make compromises. They will have to be the ones to walk away with an 8 of Cups. They don't have to believe that humans caused global warming, right? We don't care about whether they believe it or not, but they have to get their companies up to inspection with the new economy, right? This new direction we're headed in. I've seen interviews with state representatives and governors from places in the South that are being very heavy hit by global warming, and they don't want to acknowledge that humans play a part, but they are willing to acknowledge, well, the climate is changing. I don't care so long as, right, as long as we save the environment, right? We can agree to disagree, but with a 4 of Cups sitting in that house that is their opposition, the Democrats, I think our standards are going to be very, very high. And I think that we're not going to compromise, which is actually probably pretty good, a good thing. They are the ones that have to come to us, not the other way around. Mega churches, yeah, corruption in the churches. The devil, some people have argued, is the church. The devil behind the cross is the alliance that people are seeing that has to get cut. I don't think it necessarily is anything. I think when you're running for a seat in Congress, you're going to be promising all kinds of people all kinds of things. The Tories lost 235 seats in early voting in Parliament. That doesn't surprise me because people are fed up, and it's not looking too good for the Republicans over here with those. Those cards are horrible. I'm very curious with that devil card coming out for Santos, George Santos, what that's going to say. Like, what is going on with him? And it's come out twice. Something seedy is going on with that guy, even seedier than what we already know. Oh, you like the red on me? Thank you. Are mega churches involved in January 6th? I don't think so. I think it was a paramilitary more than a religious operation. I don't think we think of it as a church thing, but it's more the racism and fear of the other attacks on people of color, etc. Just prejudice, attacks on the trans community, the LGBTQ community, attacks on Muslims, Jewish people, white supremacist churches. I think that that was more the concern. So I guess, yeah, if they're associated with a white supremacist church. Turkey, let's take a look at Turkey. I think that's a really good question. You all know that Erdogan's in trouble because people feel like he did not have the emergency systems set up properly during the earthquakes they had there. Was it last month? Let's take a look. Turkey's general election. How will Erdogan do? He's getting opposition from strong people on the left. There's also women getting involved actively in politics with Turkey. That looks kind of interesting. I think he will probably be reelected, but it looks like the opposition parties are becoming really strong. He has a magician in his seventh house, which leads me to think he could pull it off, but Four of Swords could be in the grave. So it's hit or miss. What's interesting is that he has strong opposition from female power, like the Queen of Cups. Judgment and strength stands in his hopes and his fears. Chariot is a race, right, to run the race. Is his outcome, but a Four of Pentacles. So I'm going to go ahead and predict that he will probably win, but barely. And it could be one of those situations where he winds up with a parliament that's filled with opposition. Yeah. 30% of youth didn't vote in the United States. Oh my goodness. Why do you think that was? What do we have to do to get youth to vote? Who pulled out? I don't understand. One of the candidates in Turkey pulled out to not split the vote for Erdogan. Oh, yeah, it showed that Erdogan, well, he had the magician in his immediate, which leads me to think he's going to win. But Four of Pentacles is a frugality card. And so that might indicate that that doesn't look like a strong win. All right. Human rights is the main thing that's going to drive the youth vote in 2024. Human rights and rights that are being violated against women, immigrants, and the LGBTQ community. Those are the number one, and the climate, of course. But the main thing that drives the vote is LGBTQ rights and women's rights, human rights. That's the main thing that's going to get young people to vote. Here, like a rainbow. I'm learning how to sing that song, by the way. True Colors, you know that one? If you're a member, you guys like to see me sing. I'm going to record True Colors. 10 of Cups, the rainbow comes. Love, 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 marriage acts, marriage equality, and 2 of Cups. So what's driving most young people has to do with things, what you and I consider basic human rights. People being allowed to marry who they love, being able to not get shot at when you go to school. But it's love cards, like the rainbow and love and two of cups. The opposition to the vote is war. It feels to me like the opposition, the Republicans, are in a state of warring. Ace of Swords, Five of Wands, victory in war. It just seems like they're bringing war to campus, and what young people are showing us is love and marriage and love, 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 love. The hopes and fears in young people today, they're afraid for their futures, that they have no future. The star is to receive an anointing. Queen of Wands is a justice absolute. She's the Judge Judy. She's the tough Queen of Wands. The final outcome is heartbreak and disappointment for young people, a real feeling like they truly don't have a future, a feeling of dystopia, and a need to believe that things will be better. Three of Swords with the Fool who takes a leap of faith. Ultimately, we appeal to their humanity, and that's what's going to get young people to vote. Yeah, 1111. When are you going to join me? I need someone who plays the violin to do my backup. Any violinist out here? You guys ever see those YouTube videos where people are recording in multiple cities? I want to do that. One person contributes the violin, one person's the vocal. Maybe we could get a couple vocalists. It's fun. Diana is eating gummy bears in New Mexico. Now, do all gummy bears taste the same? I don't think so, right? Different flavors, different juices. They make from different fruit juices, right? Oh, wow. So Stake is an online gambling platform that lets you do cryptocurrency. Is Stake in any way involved with, I guess, the mafia? Is that what you're asking? Dark money. Let's take a look. Ooh, Geocosmic's a pianist. Lovely. Playing for change. I love it. So the Kismet. Is that what his name is? No. Yeah, something like that. The guy that does the cat videos. I really like him. The gambling site. Is it owned by corrupt? It's associated with, but the person who came up with the idea just thought it was a really, really good idea and will probably sell it to a third party, Kim. But they were just somebody that dreamed and thought it was a good idea, so they developed the site. But unfortunately, some gnarly people got involved. You can see the devil, the hopes and fears that it's gotten too creepy. The owner is going to walk away, the person that developed it, because it's gotten... Doesn't surprise me. It's just like gambling in general. Isn't that all corrupt? Yeah. It's the site is going to be sold to a third party of ill repute. That's basically. The owner hanging it up, walked away and left. Did you know it had been sold, Kim? Yep. Being sold. You could probably Google it, but yeah, it looks like the original developer is selling it. Probably make a lot of money, right? You develop something like a gambling thing. Maybe you put very little money into developing it. Now it's worth $1 million. You sell it to a third party, you're out. Never have to work again. Wouldn't that be nice? Just got to develop one great idea. Yeah, Karen Louie, the FBI can now track crypto. It can track that stuff. So what I think is starting to happen for politicians that were involved in those types of illegal activities is that they thought that were going to continue to get away with these types of shell corporations and everything else like they used to. And that's not the case. You see how quickly they were able to wrap everything up with George Santos because they're much further along in how they investigate than it used to take forever before. Um, oh, does Kavanaugh use that site? That's pretty funny. Maybe. Oh, Melissa Miller is a singer for the Threshold Choir. Lovely. Yeah, I like the song True Colors. But she sings A minor. I love A minor, but it's too high for me. That's second soprano, right? I'm more an alto. I'm G. So I had to switch things up. She's like really it's like I can't sing this high. But my version's turning pretty good. Yeah. Any more questions from people today, or do we need to wrap it up? Are we done? Are we done that early? No more? Oh, Kel Bell is a first soprano. Me mamo. Can we read on something positive? Well, I think everything is positive. You know, the feds, I think that how I feel right now as a remote viewer is I feel like the federal government is unbelievably strong. I think that it survived a really horrible hit. I think we're we're back in business. The feds are back in business. They're stronger than ever. I think the bad people are going to prison. I think that uh, Putin did exactly what he told us he was going to do in the remote last month. He sent Wagner to its death because he blames the head for conning him into going into Ukraine, telling him the whole operation would last 2 weeks, egging him on. So he felt embarrassed and angry. So now he's decided to give Wagner a horrible death. So some people would consider that. I mean, I don't like to see anybody have a bad ending, even somebody like that. But some people consider that positive news. TR, I don't know. Um, looks like another something like 500 people in his army died over the last couple days, and a lot of people surrendering. The Russian army fled Bakhmut, so it's just him and his guys. So I think that's positive. I think it's positive. It's not positive for him. Uh, but it's positive if you're on the right side of history. Okay. Hi, Lisa. Lisa is a benefactor for the channel. As you know, we have memberships here so that we can continue to do cool stuff. 1111 is a benefactor, and so is Lisa R. So much gratitude to her. We have the Fairies and Angels. What is it, $2.99? I got to promote myself. And empaths and healers for the continuing ed classes. And then benefactors get a reading once a month. They get to hang out with me once a month. It's what is it, 99 a month? So yeah, so gratitude to those people who have become benefactors to the channel. So question Lisa has, will the people of Ohio be able to pass legalized abortion? Republicans are trying to prevent constitutional amendments from passing unless we have a 60% majority. Wow. Let's take a look. Hi, Rhonda Shank. Good to see you. Thanks for being a member, Rhonda. Much appreciation to all the members. Hi, Rose Blue. Good to see you. They're not going to be able to block women's rights to abortion. I really think it's important for the Democrats to do everything they can to push to get Democrats in on a local level. There's a lot that's been going on in these cards that talk about local politics and women's power. You can see new legislation here. A Page of Pentacles can be a bill or work, and then 10 of Wands, people working a new bill. You can see here a star or anointing over the mediator. The healer's card. What's interesting here is the hopes and the fears of this attack. 8 of Wands can be rapid growth, but it can also be a tension card or an attack card, depending upon the nature of the question, is associated with a feeling of being attacked or the women being attacked, women's energy, the 3 of Cups. Final outcome is 5 of Swords. They will walk away from their attack against women, and a 6 of Cups would be a desire for healing. I think that they're going to try and backtrack as quickly as possible because it's really going to cost them future elections. It makes you wonder about the future of the Supreme Court because it couldn't get more. You think it can't get worse than it already is, with 5 conservatives that appear to be compromised and not necessarily doing good things for the country right now. Where's everyone going to be for Mother's Day? Yeah, you guys want to get together on Sunday? Who's going to be at brunch with me on Mother's Day? Should we have a Mother's Day brunch? What do you think? Who's going to hang out with me on Sunday? Oh, the Andrews sisters are your third cousins? Very cool, Sabrina. Well, we're the Anderson sisters. We sing in our family. We have a family band. Everybody sings, everybody plays music. All right, let's see about the fallout to CNN. Sounds like it was just a ratings boost. They just did it for the ratings. Did anybody watch it? I'm not going to watch that. He wants money for the race. I think he sees it that if he runs again, it's a job, it's a career, it's money. You have this 2 of Cups trying to appeal, but there's a 5 of Swords walking away. So I don't think he's going to be able to run because of all of the legal stuff going on with him. Here's the race, the Chariot. Here's the money that he wanted to get. It's about money. In plainer words, it's like he creates a fake run to get money, not necessarily because he becomes the president. He's not going to be the president. You can see here, he starts off with the appeal, and then he walks away from a battle he cannot win, and then in the grave. That's the future trajectory. The future trajectory of the other, which I'm assuming is the Justice Department, it's over. Page of Cups, or Queen of Cups, and then there's the Justice Department. So, I mean, he's perceived as kind of like not entirely in touch with reality. That's kind of how I would interpret it. But he'll be prosecuted, and then yeah, so that's what happens. So he leaves, but it's a scam to make money. I can't imagine the American people would vote for him, given everything that's happening. I mean, he lost pretty badly to Joe Biden last time. The fact that, I mean, he can't possibly think he's going to win. It just would never happen. CNN, you know, what is the future of CNN? Let's take a look. News stations don't know it's over. Well, they still can't figure out what's going on with Wagner. They don't have weapons. They're out of ammo. I don't think that the public knows how broke Russia is. I think that that's the thing that would shock them, just how desperate their military situation is. It's very desperate right now. Okay, the future of CNN. They feel like they've kind of become more like Fox in the sense that they want to be more of an entertainment channel that appeals to more people. So they feel that this is going to make them more successful because it's appealing to a wider audience. So they come in with an ace of swords. So they feel like they're going to be very successful. The other comes as a thief. So it could be that they're trying to get some of Fox's more moderate audience now that Fox is in trouble. It's their dream. That's what they aspire to. And then Two of Cups, which would be a contract, would be to reach across the aisle. It's like the sacred contract. So based on these cards, it actually is a good move for CNN, and it seems to appeal to a wider audience. The only problem is that CNN will be accused of being directionless in the future. They have no direction. Yeah. In the sense that, you know, they'll do successful, but anything for a buck, Two of Pentacles. And then you have here Seven of Cups, which is completely in the clouds. So they cast a wider net. They're trying to cast a wider net, but in the end, Seven of Cups, it's as if they kind of stand for nothing. They're kind of floating around, lost, and not really knowing what to anchor themselves. And Seven of Cups is really to be rudderless. You're kind of all over the place. The Victory Day parade in Russia was very skimpy, yes, because all their tanks are destroyed and because it's a kleptocracy and they stole from their own military and gave it to their friends' private Wagner group. And then if you go into the remotes, Wagner had promised that they would be able to go in and finish everything in 2 weeks. And then they said, we need ammo. And they gave them ammo. We need more ammo. We need more ammo. We need more ammo. And then when we intercepted the conversations, leadership was angry. You said that you'd take care of this 2 weeks ago. So why do we keep having to give you more and more and more and more and more ammo? You've had enough ammo, finish the job. So then they said they'd be out by the 10th. And then basically, they're probably not even going to get paid. That's the other thing that's come out in the remote. You didn't do what you said you were going to do. You're the one that told us to go in. You said you'd take care of Bakhmut in 2 weeks. It's become a graveyard for Russian soldiers, and you're not getting any more ammo. Make it work. You're on your own, because we have to preserve as much ammo as we can to try and hold on to the Donbass. That was basically what they told them. So then the Russian soldiers fled. They lost 500 over the week. So the Russian soldiers surrendered and fled. And so now Wagner can't leave. They've been denied because Putin wants to sit there and watch the guy surrounded and go up in flames for having done this to him, because Putin is like an elephant. He doesn't forget. So eventually Wagner figured it out, and he called Putin yesterday an old, what did he call him? A happy grandpa. You're a happy, but basically you're senile. Basically, he called Putin senile. He said some other stuff to him also, but at this point, it's hard for me to watch, because I think it's going to probably end pretty gruesome. It's probably going to be a pretty gruesome end. It's pretty hard to watch. You're right, Kathy. I can't even look. I mean, yeah. But yeah, so I feel like all of that's positive, though, because we're winning, right? The good side is winning, right? All right, E. Jean Carroll, will she win her second case? Let's take a look. Something to think about. Yes, she will. And she will be, she's going to win. She's going to be rewarded money, and and Putin is being, or excuse me, Trump is being advised to pay her. And they're also saying that Trump's future, Trump's deeds will end with him serving prison time. However that's going to look. If it's a prison, if it's staying in a back room in Eric's house, or, not being able to leave except to go to doctor's appointments, but it shows incarceration for her abuser. The truth comes out. Archangel Michael stands with her, and money, Page of Pentacles, Archangel Raphael, or Gabriel, excuse me, and money and writing and creativity. So she could write a book, or there could be some kind of deal here with money. A film could be made, or a book or something, possibly a film about her life, that Page of Pentacles in association with it. In terms of Trump's legal team, they are advising Trump to settle with her and not appeal. Walk away, settle. The hopes and fears, justice will be preserved, Queen of Swords, and then the final outcome. Her case is strong, she wins. The perpetrator, jail, 9 of Wands for the perpetrator. It's not going to end well for Trump. Lemon cupcakes and chocolate cake. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should make something. Maybe I should bake something, like a lemon loaf or something. Yeah, that'll do it, a lemon loaf. How about a banana? I got extra bananas and some walnuts and some brown sugar. I could do that. You guys are inspiring me. He filed an appeal on the rape case. I don't see it going anywhere. Because the final outcome, Trump is likely to wind up in jail. Also, 8 of Cups is to walk away. You can't win. So it's not going to go well for him. They could decide to dismiss it at the the last, does he have money to pay her? Probably if, from his defense, if his fans are giving him money or something like that. It's interesting also when you go into Trump's cards that part of why he's announcing running is because he wants a grift, he wants money. It's about getting money. It's not, he's not really, he doesn't even necessarily know if he wants to be president again, but he wants the money and he wants the relevance. All right, my loves. We've been here for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm going to call it a day. I think I'm going to go eat something. I don't know what I'm going to eat. This weather's like starting to feel like Tel Aviv. Like, I feel like I need some Israeli food. Yeah, like some Israeli chop salad and hummus or something. Thank you, Jan Wag, for coming in. Thank you, Kel Bell. Melissa Miller, thanks for your help today. Chocolate pudding, yum, yum. Thank you, Wildflowers and Songbirds. Karen Louise. Is there anything else I need to make announcements about? I can't think of anything. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, if you want to have a phone reading with me, it's so simple to do. The information is below the videos. If you want me to pre-tape a video for you, a pre-taped question, that information is below, and that's through Wizio. You need to see me as a naturopathic doctor through telemedicine. That information is also below. I think that's all I got for you. Be kind to all, and I will see you all later. All right.